almost there.
Hey guys, welcome to the Massive Iron Channel. I'm Steve Shaw. In this video, we're going to talk about how to build an effective chest workout. Before I get into that topic, if you have any questions or comments, drop them down below. The best topic ideas I turn into videos just like this. All right, so on Saturday, I released kind of a polite jab at Jeff Cavaliere, Athlean-X, because to this point, he's made like 20, 25, I don't know, I've lost track, most effective chest workout. So not to rehash that, but in this video, I want to discuss what exactly an effective chest workout looks like, some things you guys need to understand when it comes to chest building so you can maximize your results without all the bullshit and the nonsense floating out there in the shit bowl called YouTube fitness. Now, before I get into that, if you guys need coaching, check out the link down below. I'm with you every single day, and it's only $80 a month. All right, so how to build an effective chest workout. Let's talk about a few points. I'm not going to build a specific workout for you, but I'm going to equip you for success so you can build your own without having to go off to some random channel and follow some horseshit. Now, number one thing you need to understand is that chest is generally harder to program than legs and back. So let me explain. Legs and back have a ton, and we're looking at major muscle groups. You're looking at major muscle groups, things that we tend to do more sets on. That's basically a major muscle group. So with legs and back, with legs you have squats, you have front squats, you have hack squats, you have leg presses, you have pendulum squats, you have leg extensions, you have lunges, you have Bulgarian split squats. You have a ton of exercises at your disposal. So whether you're training at home, whether you're training at a commercial gym, you have a lot of choices. Same thing for back. You have deadlifts, barbell rows, pendlay rows, Yates rows, dumbbell rows, chest supported rows, seal rows, seated cable rows, machine rows, T-bar rows, chin-ups, pull-ups, lat pull-downs, on and on and on. You got a ton of choices, so no matter where you're at, home or a commercial gym, you can get it done. Now, the issue with chest is that you don't have a lot of choices. Okay, you have barbell bench press. You have dumbbell variations of the barbell bench press. You might have a machine chest press if you're lucky enough to be at the gym. This could be plate loaded, or generally they're plate loaded, and you might have an incline and a just a regular machine chest press. And then you have a few couple body weight exercises. You have dips, pull-ups, and then you have things like pec deck, cable crossovers, and dumbbell flies. So you don't have a lot. You have a barbell movement, a dumbbell movement, a machine movement, basically maybe dips if you like them, and a couple isolations. A more limited choice. You're going to have more of a limited selection, a limited variety than you would with back. So on chest, if you didn't want to do the bench press, you'd be stuck with doing the big hitters like dumbbell bench or machine chest press or dips. You have limited choices to fill in. Where on back and legs, if you don't like doing the big hitters, then you have a lot more choices. You have more choices to fill in the gaps. The second thing to understand about chest is because of this point. Chest is going to be more of a grind. You're going to do a lot more of the same movements over time, repetitive. That's kind of the nature of hypertrophy in general, but it's going to be more so with chest because you have fewer big hitting exercises, so it's going to be more of a grind. You're going to have to do these big hitters, and you're going to have to grind at them over time. And again, the major exercises you're looking at are barbells, dumbbells, dips, and machine, and the minors, pec deck, push-ups, dumbbell flies, and cable crossover. Basically, 4 exercises for major exercises for chest and minor exercises for chest. So a more limited pool, and it's going to feel more like a grind. All right, point number 3. When it comes to building an effective chest workout, there is a camp that is anti-benching. Okay, why it cropped up, why it exists, we don't really need to know. It's just out there. There are some voices that are like, you don't have to do barbell bench press, you shouldn't do barbell bench press, whatever. Just know if you take this out of the equation, you really restrict the number of choices you have. You're down to a dumbbell bench. you're down to a machine chest press. We're talking the big hitters, okay? You're down to a dumbbell bench, a machine chest press, and basically dips. So if you can remove it from the equation, if you want to go into that camp and drink that Kool-Aid, just know you're going to be grinding with a more restricted number of exercises moving forward. All right, point number 4. Bench form for better chest engagement. When you're doing the bench press, and we're talking about an effective chest workout here, because most of you do the bench, make sure you do it right. Some of the common mistakes I see are people doing not enough volume, way too low rep work, or they just kind of bottom out. They let the bar just drop to their chest and have a semi-bounce off their chest. You want to control that bar all the way down, and then you want to explode it up. But you want to have control. You don't want it rocketing down and bouncing off your chest, because if you do so, you're not getting as much chest engagement as you should. That press from the bottom is really when you're going to be calling into play a little bit more of your chest. So as you lower, you want it to be controlled. You want it to hit your chest without bouncing or without just dropping like a rock. And you want to have a solid press off your chest to get a little bit more focus on your chest and not just bouncing and using your shoulders and triceps to lock it out. So point number 5, we're going to dive into a little bit of the nuts and bolts. Basically, when it comes to a major muscle group like chest, you can do anywhere from a good starting point. This is not a rule, but this is a reasonable starting point. 9 to 12 sets per week, 9 to 12 hard sets per week. Now, you might think like that's too many or that's not enough. If you think it's not enough, hear me out. Let's say you do 12 sets for the major muscle groups, okay? You got chest, shoulders, back, and quads. That's 48 hard sets a week, 12 sets per majors. Then you toss in bicep work, tricep work, some trap work, maybe some ab work, you maybe some calf work, right? Some hamstring work. All of a sudden, you get to about 72 hard sets a week, which is going to be 4 workouts of 18 hard sets a day. And in that world, in that kind of paradigm, in that kind of, when you're in that area, those are going to be hard workouts, probably about 70 to 75 minutes a day. And we're talking hard sets. So 9 to 12 is a good starting point, okay, for chest. We're not going to get into, a complete video on programming, but just know 9 to 12 is a good starting point for chest. And you can evolve and change things where you need to. So with 9 to 12, you can basically start with the 3 sets per exercise. 9, this doesn't matter if it's upper, lower, full body, or even a body part split. You're going to have about 3 exercises with 9 sets per week. And with 12 sets per week, you're going to have about 4 exercises roughly. With 3 exercises, you want to make sure at least 2 of them are big hitters. So you can use a barbell bench, a dumbbell bench, and we're talking variations. You can use a dumbbell incline. You can use a dumbbell flat. You can use a dumbbell decline if you want. Same thing goes for barbell. You can use any variation you want, even if you want to use pause bench or floor press. It doesn't really matter. So you want to use 2 big hitting variations for your chest. If you're on 9 sets a week, a dumbbell variation, a barbell variation. You can throw dips in there, or you can even do a machine chest press. I wouldn't recommend just doing dips in a machine chest press. I'd make sure to have at least, I think dumbbell bench is a really, really good choice for hypertrophy. So I would have that in the mix no matter what you do, and then fill in the gaps with everything else. With 12 set weekly structure, you could do dumbbell bench, barbell bench. You could do dips. My clients do dips and push-up supersets. You could toss in machine chest press. Or if you didn't want to do machine chest press, you could toss in a thing like a pec deck. All right. So just that's a good basic structure when you're doing 9 sets per week or 12 sets per week. You're going to have 3 or 4 exercises. When you have 3 exercises, you want to make sure at least 2 of them are big hitters. When you have 4 exercises, you probably want to make sure 3 of them are big hitters, and you only have to rely on an isolation style movement with 1 of them. All right, point number 6, a word on alternating exercises. This is perfectly okay. every other week. You don't want to go more than 2 weeks away from an exercise variation. What I used to do in the day, alternating exercises every other week, I would start off with a barbell bench, and then I would do an incline dumbbell bench next. So that would be week 1. Week 2, I would flip-flop that. I would start with an incline barbell bench, and then I would move to a flat dumbbell bench. So you can do a little bit of jockeying around, alternating exercises every other week. You could start with, let's say you're doing a full body and you didn't want to do bench press, okay? You didn't want to do barbell bench. You could start with a dumbbell bench, and then on your more middle day, you could do a machine chest press, alternating every other week with dips, okay? And then you could do maybe pec deck, alternating every other week with dumbbell flies. So you get some exercise variation into the mix, which is good for hypertrophy. And you can use alternating exercises as a means to work in some exercise variety and keep the program a little bit fresh. All right, so a final word on last point, number 7. A word on cable crossovers and flies. While these are in the list, right, as possible exercise choices, they're not going to be great choices for everyone. Cable crossovers, you can get a pretty good feel, but you're going to have a more limited progression approach. A lot of these cable stacks don't allow for a lot of progression, a lot of weight. So if you use them, you have to use them wisely. Okay, you maybe run the rack, run the stack, some kind of a rest, pause, finisher. But just know, whatever you do, if you do straight sets, progression is going to be really slow and really tedious. And it's probably, in my opinion, cable crossovers are probably at the bottom of the rung when it comes to chest exercise choices. Just not a lot of progression. Dumbbell flies, a perfectly good exercise, dumbbell and incline flies, but the problem is a lot of people tend to beat up their shoulders on these exercises. When you are doing them, think about driving your elbows together and kind of doing a bear hug. Drive your elbows together instead of your hands together. By driving your elbows together, that'll help a little bit with leverage and feel and take a little bit of pressure off your shoulders. So that's basically it. Some information on building the most effective chest workout. Final word, chest is about grinding over time. Find exercises you like, exercises that work for you, exercises that have a good progression opportunity. Make sure you're controlling the weight. You're not just bouncing the weight or throwing the weight around. We want good control. We don't want to turn compound movements into isolations, meaning we don't want to turn dumbbell bench and barbell bench into something where we only feel our chest. We want to keep good quality form and good quality control, and our chest will grow in that framework. So guys, hope this video has been of some help. If you have any questions or comments, drop them down below. If you made it this far in this video and have yet to subscribe to my channel, please do. I'd appreciate the support. So guys, as always, thanks for watching. Have a great day.